Close.
I always put ish.
Yeah,
in the time,
and ish is correct.
Yeah.
It's never the earlier part of ish, though. At least not yet.
There we are.
Cool.
Right. Fucking frame.
Sweet.
So, ish.
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 Ish. Let's change the name of the show to Ish. Alright, we might need new fucking things that don't fucking constantly fall.
Yeah, I know. We're in some need of some small equipment upgrades, it looks like.
We need to kind of replace arms and... Like, this arm's already going.
I feel that way about
Shock
my
mounts.
personal life, to be honest.
Got to replace this arm.
Yeah.
One too many jacks. It's just, I hit the mileage, you know?
This is the quality content that people come here
Oh,
for.
yeah. No, that's what I mean. We don't even talk about video games
Yeah,
anymore.
we also really just need lighting.
I know we do.
Two of those lights are off, and we need this lighting.
Yeah.
Not that lighting.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah.
This is preferable.
Yeah.
And then under lighting. So
Undercarriage.
if anybody
undercarriage
finds a
lighting.
really good deal on LED long strips,
Yeah.
like...
I mean, those are all over Amazon.
Yeah, no, on Black
True.
Friday, they just kept fucking sending them to me, and I'm like, I don't have $30, fuck you. Like, every new page had another one on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can move chat over to here.
Yep.
Not at full screen it. I love that Windows does that, but just don't want to do it right now. Okay, audio test.
Yep.
Test.
Hey, audio test 1, 2, 3. Adventures, welcome to the show.
Test audio. I'm a little closer than normal, but I think
Yeah,
that's
actually,
okay.
that sounds fine.
All right.
I mean, it looks fine. I can't say how it sounds.
Yeah.
I could. I'm not gonna.
Gotcha.
Quality content, always. Look at us go.
Hey, they don't call us the quality nerd.
That much I can verify for a fact. I'm
is
sure all of our listeners in Japan would appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, there's one. It's primarily there's like 2 people in Australia and 4 people in America that listen to it. I'm not making this up. I have the fucking Spotify information, and it's literally 4 people in America.
It told
and 2
me.
people
It told
in
me.
Australia.
It told me Japan.
Yeah, same.
For some reason, it showed up on there. I've yet to find the episode where it shows up says anybody from Japan will listen to it.
Interesting.
I've gone through like 15.
Of 330
They only list the last 30 or 40 episodes.
Oh,
that are on
okay.
there.
That makes sense.
It's the year in review.
Gotcha.
But either way, we do not have Spotify listeners.
It's good that we have it, though. It's
Yeah,
good that we have it.
it is.
The accessibility
Yeah,
is
whenever you
good.
posted the picture, I was like, that doesn't show that anybody listened to it. That literally shows that we made that many hours of content.
Yeah,
and that
we
many
did.
number of episodes.
Yeah.
Not that anyone gave a shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Well, it's not for them. So.
That's right.
Yes, it is. It's entirely all for them. It is not for us.
We'd be happy if they, saw it.
Yeah.
Yes, which is why it is for them.
Yeah.
But they're not giving a shit.
Well, it's
Oh,
hard
yeah.
to promote on Spotify.
Yeah.
Ambidextrous mice are weird. I haven't used one in a very long time. Like, I don't know where to put the rest of my hand
Yeah.
because it feels weird. Used to right-handed mice.
All right.
Ready? All righty. Oh. Oh yeah, I usually put headphones on so I can monitor us.
Is Superman a symbol or just unrelatable? Adventures. Toss on your tights for an all-new episode. Are you all right?
Yeah, I was getting a weird crackling noise. Ah, we need new wires. All right, I'm disconnecting everybody's mics and then putting them back in.
Okay.
From here?
Yeah, disconnect it from there.
Back in?
Yeah, and then put it back in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna disconnect them all from up here. It's just reseating everything.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely some crackling that was in that. So we're gonna redo that first part.
Oh,
Okay.
man. I really nailed it, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Crackling. I'm literally disconnecting everything.
This is why we never get started on time.
That's true.
This is the exact reason.
Not the Hector showing up 5 minutes late.
No, that's definitely not why we're late. So I started working on my games of the decade list, and it got really out of hand.
We're not doing that today, are we?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, fuck.
But I knew we needed to start, and it's there's already like 25 games on
Lucky
here.
for Tony, it's only one.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking I'm going that way.
He might have played something else in like 2012.
Yeah, maybe.
I played, it was Halo.
It was
Oh,
just
okay. So
Halo.
2 games of the
Yeah,
decade.
that was it.
My gaming life has consisted of Halo, Destiny.
All right, let's give it another go. We gotta get this
And
show on
since
the
they
road.
basically added swap back, I'm fucking good at it again. All right. Just trying to, like, listen for any crackles. I don't hear any this time. All
Okay,
right.
cool. Is Superman a symbol or just unrelatable? Adventures. Toss on your tights for an all-new episode.
That was good. I didn't
Yeah.
hear any crackling.
Hi, Brooklyn.
Hey, dude.
We're a tad late, but we're going.
Yeah.
Finally.
It's been a time.
Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the show. We are the Surly Nerd, your one-stop shop for geek news that might have flown under your radar over the last week. I'm your host, James, and with me is our producer, Tony,
Hey.
and our co-host, Hector.
Howdy.
So, if you're new to our show, hey, welcome. This week we're going to be talking about the problem with Superman as a modern hero, but before that, we have all the news that's fit to rant about for your ears. Don't forget that you can keep connected with us through thesurlynerd.com, where you can follow us on all social media platforms and even donate the show. Every penny donated goes right back into the show that we make for you every week. And don't forget, if you are listening to this Monday through Wednesday, we do have a special live stream that we're going to be doing on Thursday, where we're going to be just watching the Video Game Awards, and you're going to hear our commentary, and it's going to be a good time for everybody. With all that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, adventurers of all ages, it's time for The Prelude.
All right, now that we have Brooklyn and Hector here,
Yeah.
we have a question that we have to figure out the answer to before Thursday, and I don't know what the answer is.
Okay.
So we're going to want to live stream the Game Awards, and we're going to want to hear the Game Awards, and we're also going to want to speak about the Game Awards, but the audience doesn't want to hear the TV that we're listening to.
Certainly
Because
not.
they'll be on their own stream that I'll have in the background. How do I make it to where they can't hear the show that we're watching, but still hear us?
This is the mathematical equation we have to figure out before Thursday.
I think when they do this, it's usually not people in the same room. It's usually people around Twitch with headphones on.
Right, it is.
Yeah. Headphones, yeah. That's about the only answer I got so far, isn't it?
This is going to be complicated. We're going to have to figure this out.
This is complicated.
I was sitting at the desk and went, fuck, I have no way to make it quiet.
It's a very complicated.
Yeah.
I'm going to try not to think about it too much while you're asking me the rest of the questions that go along with this show, but I'll get back to you.
All right.
Yeah, no, because we need an answer by Thursday, and I have no answer.
We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump in and do this.
Brooklyn, if you got any idea, just type up a fucking paragraph and get it to me, because I'm so fucking confused on how to do this. Like, it's like I wrote myself into a corner, and it's like I have no idea how to get out of it, aside from, like, killing the main character.
Okay, sounds good. We'll do it.
Oh, okay. Fine. All right, ready?
Yep.
Okay, we've already pressed that button, so I need to go into titles so I can start doing the rest of it. It's part of a thing I'm doing. Prelude.
Hey, adventurers. This is The Prelude. This is what we've been doing with ourselves this week, what we've been playing, what we've been watching, what's been occupying our free time. Tony, why don't we start with you this week?
I'm going to start with the most recent thing that I did, which is watch the Ghostbusters trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of in love with that movie. I think.
Yeah.
It felt like Ghostbusters to me for some weird way. I don't know exactly how to explain how it felt like Ghostbusters, but it felt like it was still that universe, that it was a continuation many years down the road. Like, I don't know, for some reason, I think it was probably because I just got to see Ivan Reitman's son's name show up as like the first thing, and I was like, there you go. That's what I fucking needed to know. That it was handled by, the family, I guess, in a way. And yeah, no, I fucking loved that damn trailer. It was fucking good. I don't know. Y'all seen it? What do you think?
Yeah, love
Yeah,
it.
I watched it. I thought when I saw the timestamp, I was like, God, that's a long trailer. It's like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was expecting to see like, oh fuck, they're gonna show me all the best parts of the movie, like a comedy, like a trailer for a comedy. I'm pretty sure the first Ghostbusters trailer was a lot like what I was expecting this one to be. but it was none of that. All it did was basically set the premise for the movie, and without like overstaying its welcome too, which like I said, it's a long trailer. So yeah, I feel like they kind of nailed it.
I feel like the less that we know about this movie going into it, probably the better.
Agreed. I know it has Paul Rudd. I know it has the kid from Stranger Things, Wolf, whatever.
Yeah, Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard.
There you
like
go.
the most metal name.
Yeah, it is the most metal name. And I mean, at that point, and then when I saw the car, I was on board.
Yeah, I mean, I was on board whenever I saw the car sitting in the barn.
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck, that looks so cool."
Yeah.
And then now they have the full trailer. Whenever they showed me the Ecto 1 has a fucking like gunner seat, I was like, "Holy shit! They're bringing the real Ghostbusters cartoon stuff into this."
Yeah.
Hell yes.
That was
because I mean, obviously, even with the Ghostbusters cartoon is not canon,
Right?
By any stretch of the imagination.
In whatever term we can use for this world,
For the
as
canon. Yeah, because we don't really know if Ghostbusters 2 takes place in this universe or not.
It's two comedy movies. I think we're fine.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in more of what we're going to see from this. Outside of that, I've been loving the shit out of Watchmen.
It's about to wrap up, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's coming together pretty soon.
I'm 2 episodes behind as of yesterday.
Motherfucker. I need somebody to talk to about the show. So if our listeners want to like reach out to me through like info@thesterling.com or
I'm caught up on Mandalorian,
Nerd.
I'm not.
See, I love The Mandalorian. It's great stuff, but I need someone in my life to talk about The Watchmen with. And I don't have anybody. And I love that show, and I've got theories.
Yeah, we should get all caught up on Friday. So come next Monday, I'll be caught up.
Okay, good. Other than that, Destiny's this season's winding down
Tonight?
Yeah, tonight's or while we're recording this is when this airs, the next season will have started.
Yep.
I might have something to do in it. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
because the trailer or the little bit of the gameplay we shot or they showed us in that was very sparse with what we have to do this season.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that for next week. But overall, I've just been kind of taking a pretty chill week, catching up on like some Christmas movies that are on Hulu and Netflix.
Yeah, it's a good season for that.
Did you
I'm
watch
not
the
bringing
Claws?
those up.
The
I haven't
Claws?
watched Claws yet.
Or is it just Claws?
Yeah, Claws.
Everyone's saying it's great. So
I'm going to.
okay.
Because it's actually hand animation, so like I'm big on that. I just haven't gotten to it yet because I had to start with the third Christmas Prince movie, which is Christmas Baby, and it was
Oh Lord.
wonderfully awful.
They're in deep.
Yeah.
Hector, what about you? What did you do this week?
Let's see. I watched a bunch of stuff. Now that I had about a week's break from all of the CW shows, and I started a bunch of things. The third season of Atypical is on Netflix, that was really, really easy to just binge. I watched it in about 2 days, and God, I love that show. That is the most adorably honest show. The comedy is amazing. The actors all play their parts perfectly. I love everything about that show.
It's a simple story of just like a family, but like it's so fucking good.
It's stupid good. Every character grows. Every character has an arc, and it's just this family. And
I care so much about this family. I
do
don't know why.
so much. Oh my god! So yeah, that's great. Magic for Humans has a second season with.
I don't even know what this is.
Okay, so Magic for Humans is by this magician, and I should know his name by now, but it's escaping me at the moment. But he has a show.
Is that one of his tricks?
Yeah, probably on Netflix called Magic for Humans, where he does close-up magic with strangers, but on camera. Okay. And sometimes he sets up these really, really elaborate tricks just to get them to walk into something. And he has these funny little bits here and there. There's a GIF of him you might have seen on Reddit, and you might not have known what it was. It was a guy with a sign, and it was like, pick a thing for pick a thing for me to do, you or her. And the guy's like, me, and he's like, okay, and he like pick one of these cards, and there are 5 cards. Picks one, and it's like hug. He's like, aw, hug. The guy who picked the card, his girlfriend standing behind him. So when he goes in for the hug, all the cards turn to the other side, and you can see what they all were, and all of them except for the one he pulled out said anal.
Wow. Okay.
I was wondering where this was going.
Yeah.
You lost me at the first part, but you got me back there at the end.
Yeah.
Definitely got you in the end.
So it's always very funny. It's a great show if you like close-up magic, which I do. And some of the tricks he pulls off just really blow my mind. I wish I had like Penn and Teller to sit down with me and be like, "Oh, I know how he did that."
Right.
They actually had a show where they did that.
I know, yeah, it's a good show. But this guy is phenomenal because he's very wholesome and he's always relating the magic back to like his life as a dad or stuff like that.
cool.
It's very cool. Let's see. I sat through all 3.5 hours of The Irishman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You brought yourself to do that? I really just can't bring myself to do it.
The reviews I've heard is either it's really great or it's just him stroking his own dick and making other movies.
Well, no, Scorsese has wandered very firmly and with big boots on into old man shit territory. I mean, this movie is about what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. So,
Which we literally have no official confirmation of whatsoever.
right, but I mean, the thing in the mob community is the mob's all pretty sure the mob did it. It's just no one's talking. But yeah, so it was all about that. You got just amazing performances from De Niro, from Joe Pesci, all of the other. Scarface. Help me out. The actor.
Yeah, Al Pacino.
Yeah, Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Phenomenal performances from all of them. Some of the de-aging stuff they did rubbed me the wrong way, but
Did they do it to Joe Pesci? Because whenever I watched a clip of it, Joe Pesci looks like he actually has become Yoda.
Yeah,
Like he's got straight up Yoda face.
right. No, that's actual Joe Pesci.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just wanted to know if
it's
Joe
the thing.
Pesci's slowly turning into Yoda.
Sometimes they're a little
He's
old.
shrinking.
Sometimes they look a little older than they are now. But since the movie takes place across like a 60-year stretch, they're constantly moving in and out of aged and de-aged. So it can be a little jarring because it's like the early stages of the Marvel technology that used to do it. So when you were just like, "Ugh," it looks like that
They're not
a lot
quite
of the
Captain
time.
Marvel level,
It's a
yeah.
bit of a yike.
Yeah.
But the movie was interesting. I wasn't bored the entire time. I did notice how long it was though while watching it.
It was on in the background during our Thanksgiving, and I thought the movie was on for like 6.5 hours.
It really felt
By the
like
time it was done, I was like, "This thing's still going."
Yeah. Let's see. What else did I do? I watched Ad Astra.
Yeah, it's on my like
So what is
to
that?
watch list. It's
Ad Astra is a movie starring Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones, where Brad Pitt has to go into space after his father, who went into space much earlier, is the bullet points on the poster.
Okay.
I can't recommend this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
not even to like people who like artsy sci-fi shit.
It felt like three movies trying to be three different movies and failing at all of them. And even though the acting in it was good because you had really good actors and the sci-fi was cool as shit, it didn't spend any time on much of that. It just decided to sit there being weird.
Was it trying to become like too much of a personal journey about something you just couldn't give a shit about?
It was basically like just to sum up the in a really stupid way, the theme of the story of Ad Astra is like when your dad goes out for a pack of cigarettes and never comes back. That story.
Okay.
What that leaves behind. But it's also this sci-fi
Like
tale
in
about
space!
about needing to like go into space. And yeah, it spent way too much on the pack
I'm
of
not
cigarettes
really
part.
familiar with a lot of space stuff. I have been watching a show that was on Apple called For All Mankind, which is great. It's the idea that the Russians landed on the moon first and how that would affect the future of us.
Yeah.
As Americans and the world and all that shit. But like that's dealing with like actual going to space, and they have a thing where like somebody dies on the moon or is up there, they unless you're giving them more food, they're straight up gonna fucking die.
Yeah. Right.
And in this, I'm like, well, Dad left her a pack of cigarettes on Jupiter. He's super fucking dead.
So I do have one more before I wrap up. I saw the new Harley Quinn cartoon that DC
Oh,
is
did
making.
you?
Yes.
I
got
was-
it on my, like,
There are
recorder.
2 episodes so far. They're only about 20 minutes long each. I actually watched them both before I came over here. And I like it.
Really?
Yes.
Because I saw the trailer for it, and I'm like, seems like they're just trying to be like extreme for the sake of being extreme.
The
Because
trailer was a lot. It
it's
felt,
an R-rated cartoon, right?
yes, 100% R-rated.
Yeah.
The trailer was a bit much, but taken as a whole, the show was a lot of fun. It reminded me more of Venture Brothers than anything else.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a weird...
Early Venture Brothers.
Right.
And just, how... the idea of Batman as a concept is played as ridiculously as it should be. So, like, Bane doesn't have, like, luchador voice. He has Tom Hardy voice. You know, there's a man-bat walking around sometimes just, like, doing things. But they do very normal things. Like, one of the scenes in the second episode takes place at the Penguin's son's bar mitzvah. And, like, some of the Legion of Doom is there, like, you know, at his son's bar mitzvah.
That does sound like very early Venture Brothers.
Yeah, it's very cute so far, and I'm going to keep watching it. Mostly because I did laugh a lot during both episodes, and they're only 20 minutes long. So
if you can actually get a physical chuckle out of me, then I'll probably come
okay, they need to go back in time. I want to go to the Joker's son's bris and see who, like, the fucking who is there. Like, how do you get, like, a bunch of villains, like, standing around and be like, we're gonna cut that kid's dick off? Like, that has to be a thing. Like, somebody write this. Like, come on. If you're saying he's becoming a man, you have to start the beginning of the faith there. Like, where's this gonna go?
I'll keep my stuff fairly short and sweet since we're running a bit on time. I did finish Death Stranding this week. I obviously can't talk about it.
No, you cannot.
You just can't do
I
that.
watched part of the ending. I can talk about it.
It was a very long ending. It is a Metal Gear sized ending that is in that.
There was a baby in a baby.
Like, it was. That's just what happens when you respawn. So, like, it's an utterly ridiculous game. It is a lot of fun. It is something that I do want to do a spoiler cast about at some point to really get into the finer detail of the game. Everything is explained. Literally everything. Anybody who walked away from that game being like, I don't understand what happened in that game, like, they tell you like 5 times, and then they email you in the game to explain again just so you can read to understand what happened. And it's not even that complicated of a story, really, but the game just really wants to make sure that you understand what's going on. Like, there was one scene in, like, chapter 13 or something where I was like, they explained something to me while I was driving around, and then somebody, like, called me on my codec and was like, by the way, I need to, like, repeat the thing that you just learned. And I'm like, okay, great, that's fine, I know now. And I get to the destination and they're like, so about this thing that we just talked about 5 minutes ago. And I'm like, I understand.
It's a very Kojima thing to do.
Like,
is it kind of like Don't Be a Menace where it's message? Like, constantly, it's just a dude in the corner. It's just fucking.
It is a little bit like that.
It's
actually.
just Kojima showing up in the center going, message.
Yeah, just all the time. So, like, don't believe anybody that says they don't understand the story. It's very simple to follow.
Yeah.
But it was very good. It had twists all the way up to the end, which was fantastic. I will probably put this down as my game of the year.
Nice.
I mean, it was a very emotional, very good experience. It was very beautiful and very haunting and very human. It was a very human story, even amidst all of the chaos of the ghosts and all the other stuff. It's meant to be very human. So I just absolutely, the very powerful game in my opinion. Other than that, we were talking about space, and I have been watching a little bit of space. This Friday, season 4 of The Expanse comes out.
Yes, it
and
does.
so I am binge watching the shit out of all the seasons of The Expanse. And, you know, we were talking about this in group chat earlier because we had some friends that were wondering about The Expanse, had thought about trying it, but didn't know how they felt about it. I said the best recommendation I can give to anybody out there who's thought about watching The Expanse is this is absolutely, hands down, one of my favorite shows of the decade. Like, just without even compiling a list right now, if you said pick a favorite show of the decade, I'm like, it's either The Expanse or really fucking close.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that good. Like, the science that they use in it is, they try to make it as accurate as possible. It is fantastic. And it's even better as a rewatch now that I've read some of the books and I'm kind of going back and picking up on little details that I missed the first time around. So yeah, that's what I did this week. All right, that's everything that we have for the prelude. We're going to take a small break. When we come back, we'll be going into our news segment in the weekly raid.
I'm going to see if I can do the thing.
Which thing?
Okay. See if you can do the thing.
Yeah.
We're just testing
I'm
something.
running a 60-second ad.
We're just testing something out right now,
I don't know if
guys,
they can
so
hear us anymore because I ran a 60-second ad.
That's weird.
Oh, gotcha.
You can't stop it. It's gone now.
Oh yeah, no.
It's
we'll be
on.
resuming in.
No, that was to
40s.
make it to where if they click play on us, it immediately starts instead of having to watch an ad and then it starts.
Oh, weird.
This is you have to do this now
Oh, weird. I don't like that.
if you want to monetize your stream.
Well, when we get to the point where monetization, I'll absolutely love hitting
Yeah,
that.
technically,
I think
we
it's
have already.
specifically designed to allow streamers bathroom breaks.
Yeah, no,
'cause a lot
this
of them
is
would
the
say-
piss break.
Yeah, because a lot of them would say like, as soon as I take a piss break, I can expect to lose like 30% of my audience.
Yeah, no, the moment you're no longer on screen, just bloop, everybody's gone.
Right. so that.
So this is the I need to go away for a second.
Right.
A lot. That I mean, yeah, that's to get rid of the be right back message. Which I mean, if you see that and you're like, well, I'm not watching your shit.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the watch a commercial.
Oh,
and
that's
then
interesting, and it supports the streamer, so I can dig it.
yeah, no, we technically are monetized at this point, but we just have to have enough people watch things.
Pre-roll ads are disabled for 20 minutes. Okay, so
Gotcha.
So now for 20 minutes, for the next 20 minutes, if anybody joins us, they don't have an ad.
oh, that's cool.
that is cool.
That's cool. I dig that.
All right.
Yeah, so it's meant to do every 20 minutes. You take a fucking. This is the closest they can get to making it TV. 20 minutes, one commercial. 20 minutes, one commercial.
Okay.
I mean, I can also keep pressing this thing endlessly.
I hope that worked out for you guys.
I hope you watch the commercial, and then that's one way to make it where other people don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could hear us because we just talked the entire time, but I don't think
we were just trying a new button. We don't know if it did anything. You guys would have.
Speaking of new buttons, all right, let's try out some new buttons. Where I press that one and it switches, and then I'm gonna move the chat over to the side because I want to check some shit here in a fucking. I'm just gonna put it over here. I don't want to see me. I'll see Hector. There we go. Ready? Ready to go into the next section?
Weekly raid.
Yeah.
The weekly raid.
Hey, adventurers, welcome back to the show. This is our weekly raid. It is our news roundup for the week. We're going to kick things off this week talking about Lock and Key. For longtime listeners of the show, since literally the inception of this podcast, we have been talking about Lock and Key being a series that we could watch on TV that has been given, like, it has had failed pilots, it's had failed like
movie deals. It's failed in like 7 different ways.
Oh man,
it's like the longest game of foreplay.
It really is.
I'm like, just fucking put it in already.
We just didn't even know if it was ever going to happen. We knew that Netflix picked it up, but that doesn't mean anything. Just because they picked it up, they could make a pilot episode and that's it.
Yeah, and that's what happened with Fox back in the day. You can actually search the Lock and Key Fox pilot. Just search those terms on YouTube,
and it comes up.
You'll see this trailer that we were like, "Holy fuck, this looks cool as shit!"
Looks awesome.
You see the house, you're like, "That's the fucking house from the comics," and you get this cool trailer. They built this house and made an episode of the show, and Fox went, "Eh,
nah."
Yeah,
so it's been pulling at our heartstrings for a little while, but finally, and if you follow us on Facebook or Twitter, I definitely posted this all over there the moment I saw this.
Oh yeah.
But yes, February 7th, 2020, Lock and Key.
So we're just like 2 months away.
We're like 2 months away from the thing.
So as long as the apocalypse does not fucking happen,
right?
By the 7th,
you're actually gonna see it. It's actually gonna happen.
I don't think it will. I'm pretty sure all of humanity will die before this happens. Because at this point, it's just painful for me.
And they have so much good talent that's going to be working on this. I mean, obviously, it's Joe Hill. We've been singing the praises of Joe Hill forever, and all the stuff that he works on. Lock and Key is by far one of my favorite comics of the decade. It's just such a fantastic book. Definitely worth picking up, by the way. Go to your local comic book shop and pick up Lock and Key, because it's just, the art is gorgeous. The guy who draws the house, Gabriel Rodriguez, I believe is his name, is actually an architect in real life. So
prior to drawing comics books, which he's done, it's kind of more of his career, I guess, nowadays after Lock and Key. But his prior career, like what he went to college for, was architecture. And my favorite thing was whenever they were discussing how to write certain scenes and how characters can act, or what room they're going to be in.
Right.
And it would go, no, they can't be in that room. That room doesn't exist there. They have to be in this room, because he's an architect. He's like, no, the kitchen's there. Yeah. That's not where this. You just can't change the house, man.
I believe if you pick up the hardbacks, and I've only picked up the hardbacks, but in the hardbacks they actually have the layout of the house.
Yeah, no, you could actually. It's the architectural plans.
His blueprints are in there.
Yeah, and you have to buy multiple ones because each different floor has the different blueprints. So once you collect all of them, you have the entire blueprints for the house, to the point where you could actually build the damn thing.
That's awesome.
It's really cool. Also this week in celebratory news is that we found out that 2K Games is going to be working on a new BioShock. Which is crazy. We hadn't heard anything since BioShock Infinite, obviously. Rumors say that this has actually been in development for about 5 years, but it was a kind of a failed project. It had starts and stops, and they were having problems figuring out what direction they wanted to go in. So what 2K Games did is they made a new studio called Cloud Chamber, This game is still going to be a few years away, but they are getting a lot of people from the original BioShock team in, and they're also pulling people in that worked on franchises that were in like Firaxis, who worked on things like XCOM or Civilization. So it's going to be interesting because I don't think we're going to have Ken Levine, who worked on the original BioShock, and I believe on Infinite as well.
Correct.
But
he didn't do 2.
But we are getting because that was a different studio that did 2.
Yeah.
But we had like the main creative director for the original BioShock is going to be there, and I mean he's one of the ones that, if you ever look at the history of BioShock, really got the product made where it needed to be by the end. Levine, and the history of BioShock is very fascinating if you look it up sometime. Basically, Levine is a guy that has big ideas, and they're very fascinating ideas, but when it comes to implementing ideas, he gets a little carried away.
Yeah.
And so over the course of BioShock's development, they had to have new creative directors come in and be like, okay,
you could literally just change BioShock the word fabled or fables, and it would be the exact same story.
And it was. And so somebody has to kind of like rein Levine in a little bit. And so that's what these creative directors have done. So these creative directors that worked on these earlier BioShock games are now coming in and being like, yeah, so we're going to be working on the new BioShock game. Now, Levine does give us a certain, I don't know, there's a lot of literary merit to having Levine on staff. Obviously, with the way that BioShock 1 was handled and Infinite was handled and the topics that they go into. But I don't think that this is something that can't be tackled by another studio.
Yeah, I feel like once you've done the world building, all you would need is a good writer to write a good story into the world, especially if they're thinking of going back to Rapture and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I hope they're actually not going back to Rapture.
I doubt they would. I mean,
we've done Rapture, and we did
Rapture,
fucking Cloud City or whatever the fuck it was called.
I think the tradition of BioShock should always be to explore a new.
Yeah, no, you need to go and explore new reasons why capitalism is the devil and why Ayn Rand was a piece of shit.
Yeah,
like we just need to keep going down that train.
Well, if it was patriotism,
and I'm guessing maybe Reaganomics is the next one, and just be like, downfall economies do not fucking work.
Right.
I'm calling it now. If the game is that, I'm a fucking genius. I'm calling it right now. Reaganomics is the actual point of the new BioShock game. If not, BioShock creators, I've got an idea for you.
Reaganomics isn't a cool place to go. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. BioShock was about a city underwater, and the city was the character. The city was the game. The city is
the character, but the city isn't the points of the story. The story of the first BioShock is that all of Ayn Rand's ideas were fucking dumb.
Of course, but it was a video game, so the setting really does matter. So
yes, the setting does
I'd love to
matter.
write a game about Reaganomics, but where are we going to have that? Detroit?
I'm the big idea guy. I need a home dude. We just said back in the fold
to rein
me in, and you're like, yeah, we can make that, but can we make it on a submarine?
Okay, actually, there was a lot of really great news this week. Like happy news. I was so excited. Of course, we just talked about BioShock, which I'm obviously very excited for, but we also have. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, just out of nowhere, got a trailer and was like, by the way, January 2020. So like we have Witcher in December, Sabrina in January, and now we've got something. We have Lock and Key in February.
Lock and Key in February. Netflix is really fucking killing it in 2020 already, right? And it's only December.
Like that's what makes me kind of happy because I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what Disney Plus has lined up for past Mandalorian and past Imagineering story,
right?
So I'm like, Netflix is just won over my Disney Plus time with what's coming up now. And that's not a bad thing. I love Disney stuff. I'm going to keep going back and watching. I just watched Cinderella this week. I didn't think I needed to put that in the beginning part because who the fuck cares that I watched Cinderella again?
Somebody out there does.
I mean, but I haven't watched that movie since I was probably like 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's been that long. And I was like, holy fuck, this movie's still amazing.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Disney Plus is you can go and watch all this other shit. But the new things that they're creating, they're going to get there. But Netflix has been that they knew the deal with Disney was going away, and they knew they had to find a lot of cool shit that people wanted, and then put it on a consistent enough basis to where everybody will be happy.
They really planned these releases well too, considering how recently Disney Plus has dropped.
I mean, they just put out this week a season of Fuller House, apparently the last one. I'm super on board. Like, I'm going to watch that this week. I can put that on while I'm gaming, and I can watch an entire season in a day because there's 7 episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sabrina season 3 going to be coming January 2020. This is the Sabrina Goes to Hell season. I fucking love this show.
It's a wonderful show.
See, you spoil it. I refuse to watch anything. You just
there's
spoiled it.
already more.
That's how season 2 ends.
You know what? Maybe that was only going to be for 1 episode, and I didn't know. I wanted to be surprised.
We don't know if it's the entire season.
We really don't.
She's just
You
going.
just said this season about Sabrina going to hell, so I was assuming
You
the
didn't
whole
watch
thing.
it early.
Yeah, I totally watched it earlier.
Why
That's-
do you have a secret Netflix account where you've already watched Sabrina?
I've already watched The Witcher. It's better than the video game, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. I've watched all the Netflix shows already. I already watched Lock and Key, all 5 seasons of it.
Yep.
They didn't get to a 6. They canceled it after that.
That's about right.
They wrapped it up well, though.
Yeah. So, again, all great news this week. Worst kept secret in all video game dumb right now is Resident Evil 3. It was all but confirmed basically online.
Yeah, and it surprised no one after the way Resident Evil 2 sold.
No, not at all. And the art has been pushed out there. People know it. Capcom's confirmed this is the art. This is the redesigns for the characters. They definitely look much more mature. They look really fucking good, man. Just that whatever engine they're using.
Yeah,
is just
the one they're
fucking
using for
good.
Devil May Cry and Resident Evil 2, and they've been.
They're still using, was it CryEngine? Or not CryEngine?
I don't think so.
I think they're using Unreal. I think
I
believe-
it's a modified Unreal.
Yeah, I believe.
Oh, sorry, not CryEngine, the Crisis engine, the Devil May Cry engine. That's the.
Oh yeah, the Devil May Cry engine is what
Yeah,
they're
I
using.
was like,
for
they're
everything.
still using that one.
Yeah.
Damn, that thing has to start showing its age.
no,
soon.
no,
It's been around for a
Like,
long
have
time.
you seen Devil May Cry 5?
DMC5 had
Yeah,
its
no,
own.
DMC5 was great. Are they using that one or
that
using the
one.
original one?
No, not the original.
Okay, because the
That wouldn't
original
make any
one, a
sense.
lot of games were based on, and those were all 360 games.
Yeah.
Like, how in the fuck did they scale that to this? Because
this
Devil May
is-
Cry 5 looks amazing. So
Yeah.
this is the new
It's
Devil
the
May Cry
Devil May
engine.
Cry 5 engine, the one where all the
Okay.
people talking like, "Fuck, that looks like a real person."
That looks like people talking. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, no. See,
Like-
that's what I was confused at, because I was like, the Devil May Cry games. That's an old fucking engine.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
but yeah, it looks fantastic. I mean, it's Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 is a divisive game in the series because really Code Veronica was supposed to be the true sequel, and there was a lot of internal stuff that happened within Capcom, and
Right.
so you had 3 release, and then Code Veronica released shortly thereafter, and it was using the older engine, and there's a lot of things, but for all the haters, there's a lot of people who love it.
Oh, yeah.
It was the conclusion of the whole Raccoon City story. You got to kind of like write away some characters after that. The Nemesis system was kind of fun. You had binary choice whether or not you wanted to fight Nemesis. I've actually been watching speedruns of Resident Evil 3 recently, and it's a lot of fun to watch people speedrun that because they'll do speedruns where they fight Nemesis every single time, and you're like, man, I never had the ammunition to fight him once.
Yeah,
let
exactly.
alone.
It's like I always ran.
Yeah.
So I got a question about that, though, because Resident Evil 3, for me, is kind of like the end of where Resident Evil made sense. Because you're done with the Raccoon City stuff, and then everything after that is where just Resident Evil became silly and nonsensical and wasn't really a horror game anymore. It was the zombies showing up for some reason, and now you got to go kill them, and you look like a soldier, but you super don't because you're wearing like civilian clothes.
Right.
Like, I never understood
I'd say
where
that-
it went on past
I'd
that.
say that started with 4. Code Veronica.
4,
That's what I meant. This is the end of it. This is
No,
the,
because Code Veronica still has
Okay.
to happen.
I mean,
Yeah.
we don't know if they're gonna make a remake of that.
Right.
They're,
And
they're
we'll
going
find
to.
out.
That's why I'm wanting this game to do well, because Code Veronica is my favorite game in the series, and I want them to do a remaster.
Honestly, I'd be happy if they kind of mixed Code Veronica and 3 together and made it into a whole more consistent universe sort of thing. But that's not going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, that would piss off too
It'd
many
be
people.
a big ass game.
that would
But
be, yeah.
think about how great it would
It'd be
though.
60 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
But either way, like once we're done with the Raccoon City, the core of Resident Evil, do you think they're going to continue on the just remake train, or are they going to
They
just
can't.
go?
I mean,
we need to fix these.
Why remake 4?
I don't think you can remaster 4 without pissing off a lot of people.
Well, that's the thing. They're not remastering these games at all. Resident Evil 2 was a remake in every sense of the word, and
That's right,
probably
that's
the
right.
best one I've ever played as far as remakes of
Just like the
games
original
go.
Resident Evil was. When they
Exactly.
did the remake on the GameCube, they remade the fucking game. They
Yeah.
fixed the tank controls. They put extra stuff in. They
Yeah, no. So I'm wondering, are we going to get remakes of 4 or 5 like later down the line?
I think a
and
remake
to get
of-
rid of some of the extraneous silliness that they put into them.
No, I think think a remake of 4 would look so much like just 4 with prettier graphics, it wouldn't matter anymore. The thing that made the Resident Evil 2 remake and soon the Resident Evil 3 remake really novel, that made people buy them and play them, was that it was nothing at all like Resident Evil 2 when you played it. When I played Resident Evil 2, it was top-down tank controls, you know. And this is something I've been telling people when they ask me about this game is, yes, it's over the shoulder, it's very Resident Evil 4 style controls, but it is Resident Evil 2 to the point where when the game started, I knew where to go, and I was correct. And the events played out in the correct way to get me to where I was going, and none of it looked even remotely similar. And it was from a different point of view, a different angle, but it was just there, and that's amazing. And I can't wait to see.
Although I have heard that much like the original Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 2, which I haven't gotten around to playing yet, does have changes in store for you.
Yes, you will be surprised when playing the game, even if you just played the PlayStation 1 version of Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering is it 4 has been, I mean, it's been recent enough. The engine looks fine. But for me, that's where they started adding silly story stuff I just didn't care for.
No, you're right.
Like, could they remake them and just get rid of the shit that became extraneous and made everybody kind of go, this isn't fun?
Yeah, that's when Capcom really fell into that. And it was right around Resident Evil 4, like the GameCube era, where Capcom decided stories didn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
And
could they remake 4 and make the story matter?
Maybe. I mean, they could. I mean, look at Resident Evil 7. I mean, they totally toned down all of the bullshit.
That's the reason why I like 7. 7 was fun. Like, because they got rid of so much of the extraneous Resident Evil bullshit. Could they start doing that with the later entries for me, which would fix them? And I think that would be interesting, because 3, it's really cool it's coming out. I'm expecting if they're going to stop doing the remakes, they're going to probably end on Veronica. It's going to be like, this is the last of the remakes we're doing for now.
We'll see what happens do a Resident Evil 8, at that point.
Yeah, because they definitely have to be working on 8. Like, that's the thing, is they said they do the remakes so they can make the main numbers, and they do main numbers so they can do the remakes. Like, it's the one for you, one for me
thing. It feeds itself, basically, And nobody was surprised when Resident Evil 3, again, worst kept secret in all the video games. You guys are remaking 3.
How many?
Didn't see that coming at all. And I mean, everybody was floored and they were excited. I'll tell you what nobody saw coming, though. It's apparently there's a Twin Peaks VR game that's coming out this month. It's weird. I watched the trailer.
Okay.
It's not.
I mean, is it Twin Peaks weird? Is it Twin Peaks weird, or is it like why VR is this VR game weird?
I think it rides the line between both.
It's using that weirdness that is, why am I playing a VR game right now?
Is my VR headset glitching, or is that the way this game is supposed to be?
There are parts of this that look like a 90s CD-ROM live action on a blue screen kind of thing that was filmed.
See, that is neat.
But I was like, but are they intentionally doing that?
As a stylistic choice, or are they just making an awful game?
I don't think you can.
And that's the hard part about Twin Peaks is you don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's that easy to recreate that look anymore. I don't think things look like that anymore. I think that's like a holdover from like bad blue screening and like VHS quality cameras.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you could recently
emulate all of that in After Effects.
There was the sequel to The Seventh Guest that just came out recently, and they wanted to emulate that style because that's what the style.
Those are just plugins in After Effects.
Right.
You super don't even have to worry about it anymore.
I cannot, as somebody who loves Twin Peaks, cannot look at this trailer and go, well, I absolutely need to have this in my life. I do want to borrow like a VR headset from a friend soon so I can play the Resident Evil. This isn't selling you on VR. It's not selling me on VR.
To continue our conversation from, I believe, last week.
Right. You're not going to pay $300 for this experience.
Right,
you're not going to be like, well, my PS4 really needs PSVR.
Right.
Very outdated and very expensive equipment. Instead of, getting the new Oculus, which is, I think, the same price and way fucking better.
Yeah.
But either way.
And you can play Half-Life Alyx.
It's true. It's true. And what a weird, week for news, because we have this, we have this freaking, Twin Peaks game that just gets announced out of nowhere. And if that wasn't weird enough, we have a Starship Troopers RTS that's coming out?
Yeah.
What?
I think when I saw that headline, my eyes literally turned into hearts. I was sitting here like, wait, Starship Troopers? Oh my god!
See, I'm not a big fan of RTSs, but I love the fact that I love Starship Troopers. So the more we can just have of Starship Troopers, I'm happy. Is it a game for me? No. Is it a game that I'm happy exists because other people will get exposed to Starship Troopers that love RTSs? Yes.
You know what made me really happy about this was, and I'm not a super RTS fan either, but there was a game that came out, I think last year, called They Are Billions, where you basically build a base out of resources, and every once in a while a zombie horde shows up, and the hordes get bigger and bigger. So it's like half survival simulation, half RTS style base building, half tower defense game.
It sounds like the actual plotline for Fortnite.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Remember the original plotline for Fortnite where you had to build things to stop zombies?
But it's God mode.
Okay.
You know, like in RTS. And if this is anything like that, if I can build a base full of space marines to fight off arachnids on Klendathu...
Oh,
yeah,
and by the way, and for the
day
record,
one purchase.
It is important to note here that as somebody who loves that book, I read that book once a year, by the way. This game is very much based off of the movie.
Yeah,
From the font they use,
everything
the
Star Wars, or sorry, Starship Troopers. My bad. Is definitely based off the films now.
With the exception, I was going to say, with the exception of the cartoon that they did back in the day.
The cartoon was the mix. The cartoon
yeah.
took elements from the movie because that was not a movie for children.
Yeah.
Right.
And then took elements from the book, which is not meant for children.
Yeah.
And then tried to make it for children.
They had the power armor and everything actually in the cartoon.
Yeah, that's one of the big things I had an issue with the films is that they don't have the power armor and things.
Right.
And they're not doing the military tactics the way they're explained in the book.
Right.
But
the book is a little more
the movie's
pro-military.
way better.
The book is a little more pro-military, whereas the
book
movies...
takes all that fun Paul Verhoeven style fascism and is like, this is good.
Yeah, there's a lot of
it turns
that.
the satire. It makes the book a satire of itself because it's to show that when you take a military civilization to that level, it's gonna get fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's like, maybe the military should run the government. Yeah.
But
I go, no.
as the I guess the sole person on this panel that can say I do love RTSs.
Yeah, this game is literally for you.
This is a game for me. If somebody said make the ideal game, I'd be like, here it is. I guess a Starship Troopers RTS. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh man.
XCOM, but now there's other aliens and other space dudes.
Right.
And so for the record, I'm keeping this good news feel train going because I realize that we're just going to be very vicious here in like 10 minutes when we get into our main topic.
Yeah.
So we do need to talk about something that's bad, but at least has a net positive result.
Okay.
Previously on this show, we did talk about what was going on at Riot Games. Their kind of the way that they
Bro culture.
Yeah, it was bro culture. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. And
it was the good old boy culture. Your friends that are guys can go up in the company and no one else.
We had
can.
heard so many reports from the female staff at Riot Games, the creators of League of Legends, owned by Tencent over in China, that there was a lot of harassment to female members of staff. That it was just allowed. It was expected that you just have to put up with it because you work in the games industry with big air quotes. There was reports that came out that the female employees were not only sexually harassed, but that they also made way under what the male employees did. There was just a giant, horrible culture at Riot Games. And ultimately, with people at Kotaku writing some exposés on this, it actually all this stuff came to light, and there was a lawsuit. And the lawsuit finally has gotten settled. It's going to be about $10 million that's going to be paid out, with some huge overhauls to what's going on the inside of Riot Games. There's going to be a whole lot of like, we're going to have to fix this right the fuck now. Yeah,
I mean, I'm glad it got the resolution that it got. I mean, I wish that the employees got more money because all of them are getting paid out from the same $10 million fund.
Correct.
So
and it's every female employee who's worked there since 2014.
Yeah, and that's because that's as far back as they could go. But what about the people who quit prior to that because of these issues? This is good. It's not the best answer, but this is the best that we can have right now.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
So
stepping stones, because I don't understand why companies like this, 51% of the population is just be like, no, we don't like you.
Because to be perfectly honest,
you can't make games with us.
Right now, and I don't want to be that guy, but for a long time, Riot Games was my Chick-fil-A. Like I have got a lot of friends in our Discord for the LSV that are like, hey, we're all playing League right now. Do you want to come play League? And I'm like, oh, I played that back in the day. And then my brain goes, so you remember all those allegations that are going on about them right now? And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't play hate MOBA. Like hate MOBA doesn't work for me. Like I need give me Smite, give me positive happy MOBA. Don't give me hate MOBA.
Exactly.
And so, now hearing that, this stuff is starting to be fixed, and it's going to be a while. We need to hear from the employees saying like, no, the culture's changed, things are getting better. But at least this gets us moving in the right direction.
We're proud of you making choices based on games, based on your societal influence and how we should be moving together as people. Because that's what I've been practicing for years now. Like I should just don't buy shit from companies that I don't believe in. I don't play games from companies I don't believe in. And it's like, no, fuck you. I voted with my wallet and said no. And you're doing this, and that's fucking great. I wish more people would do this.
I'd like to believe that our listeners consider us a fairly trustworthy news source, and I would be it just wouldn't be fair to our audience if like I was like, oh, like fuck Riot, but also I'm gonna go play 50 hours of League of Legends. Like that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So let's wrap up the news with one more happy news item. The finally of all of this. I cannot believe I get to say this on air. Minecraft on the PS4 is getting cross-platform play.
Wow.
I mean, that's fucking amazing.
This is huge, guys.
Yeah.
This is them playing. Sony is playing with other people.
Yeah,
they're playing
specifically with Nintendo and Microsoft.
Yep.
Right,
because Nintendo and Microsoft have been playing together for a year and a half now.
Yeah,
and we knew this was happening with Modern Warfare,
right?
But we thought Modern Warfare, because it's so big, may have just been a one-off.
You kind of had to,
and it's just Microsoft you're working with and PC at that point. You don't have to bring the Nintendo in here. But we always said like it seems weird that Minecraft is this game that is so. That is cross-platform between everything but Sony.
Dude, seriously, Microsoft and Nintendo called Sony out on this shit.
Oh, yeah, they did.
The moment
they
said, hey, we're putting out Minecraft and we're playing together, then they released those ads that were like, and Sony's not, so fuck them.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, that's what we needed. We needed to have that kind of call-out because... I mean, we say this all the time on the show. When gamers are able to play together and we tear down those walls, like it's just the world's a better place.
Yeah, everybody wins. And you know what? That's how we end the fucking console wars.
Right. Just
and the
fanboy
together. Brawls. It's just we all play together. Oh, you play on Xbox? Cool. I'll see you online.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that we outside of the show have talked about a lot, about how console wars in the future, if we head into that net utopia, the Gene Roddenberry ideal, I buy a PlayStation because that's where I can get The Last of Us, and that's only where I can get The Last of Us. But when I get a Modern Warfare or something else, I can play that with my friends on Xbox and all those other platforms.
Yep.
So you pick it up for the exclusives, and you can enjoy it because of the exclusives, but you're not outside of that. You're not bound to that system.
Right. It doesn't choose your friends for you.
Right. So
that's been the biggest issue for gaming for most of our lives at this point is think about it. Go back to like us being like 8 years old, and your friend, that was the cool thing, is your friend had a Sega and I had a Nintendo. We could take both of them to one house, like we can play 2 games. What the shit? Like it was amazing.
I owned a Genesis because advertising worked on me.
Yeah,
and I had a Nintendo because that's what my brother wanted, and I'm younger than he is.
Actually, I owned it. I got a Genesis because Castlevania Bloodlines came out for it, and I begged a lot. It was bad. It's probably the lowest point in my life, really. It's how pathetic I got for that.
Oh,
but you know what?
begging.
I got Castlevania Bloodlines out of it, so
Yeah.
But let's say you wanted to take your Castlevania Bloodlines over to your friend's house, and you're like, hey, we're gonna have a sleepover. Let's play some Castlevania, and you're like, dude, I got Nintendo. Like maybe we can solder these wires together and it'll work. I mean, I'm not saying anybody did that or anything, but somebody totally fucking did that and then killed their game and console. I can guarantee somebody did this.
Yeah. No, they had. I mean, back in the day, it was more like, if I had a Sega and my friend had a Sega, he could borrow my games and I could borrow his. And that's where all the rivalries came out, you know? And then once we started playing online, it was all hopeless.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of this. Like, I still somewhat support fanboyism because I think it's just kind of funny. But overall, I'm just like, no. Let's quit the fanboyism.
Fanboyism is a funny concept, and it's funny to like bring up like, oh, like I'm a Sony guy or I'm a Microsoft guy.
Where I'm a Marvel versus DC thing,
right?
As we're about to get into.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, really, I mean, those kind of things need to go away because there's so many great games coming out that are cross console that they need to. You have to have the accessibility, and Minecraft is that game that if any game is deserving to have cross-platform play, it has to be Minecraft.
Oh yeah,
a game that's fundamental concept is building and sharing with your friends. It needs to have no barriers to entry for any console. I need to have,
Exactly. we've always said, what was the first way you explained Minecraft to anybody? It's Legos as a video game.
Yeah.
What do you do with Legos? You bring out a fucking bin, and you and your friends go, wait, have you seen that one piece? Where'd that piece go? I just saw it. Where did it go? And you do that for like 8 hours, and eventually you build a fucking spaceship or whatever the fuck you wanted to build.
I built castles all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I used to build robots in the cities where the giant mech robots would destroy
nice.
and take over or protect. Robo Jocks was way too influential on my childhood.
Mine too. But yeah, I mean, we talk about cross-platform play and how it is the future of video games. And what do we think this says about Sony, though?
Well, I think we're moving.
Peer pressure's finally kicking in.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're moving into the next gen,
pressure.
and what Sony doesn't want to do is come out at E3 and be like, "Hey, all our games are cross-platform now, or all of our online play is cross-platform now," because all it does is pull attention to the fact that it wasn't before.
Yeah.
You know, so what they will do is they'll slowly start sneaking them in, and later on down the line, it'll be like, "Oh yeah, of course we do this. It's the only good thing to do." And it's like, I see what you did.
I would, my favorite thing, the one thing that I do, this is the fanboyism kicking in, I would love to either have Microsoft or Nintendo. Preferably, they will come out on stage and be like, this is this new game coming out. You can play it day one, cross-platform on both of our platforms. And coming in 3 months after is Sony, because they're always fucking late.
So yeah, this is exciting news for gamers around the world. I was really happy to dive in. I don't even play Minecraft, but I love being able to talk about this kind of
Minecraft,
news.
I haven't played it in like 2 years. Minecraft is just fucking fun. You will start playing Minecraft, you're like, this game's dumb. I'm going to test it out for 5 minutes. One eternity later, and then
that's how
you haven't slept in 3 days. You're like, wait a second, and you're like, holy shit, the sun is up. I've built a castle.
Yeah.
There's monsters.
It's like, what do you mean you built a castle? It's like, well, here's the foyer, and if we round the corner to the spiral staircase on the west wing, we'll move upwards into the. And they're like, what?
I feel like that's how a lot of people get into like Death Stranding. That were like, I don't know about this game, and then like 3 days later, they're like, I don't know, man. I was just delivering so many fucking packages.
I just started walking, and I never stopped.
I was just rebuilding the U.S., man.
Yeah,
Like,
I learned the calculation for my center of gravity, and I just do that every time I add packages.
It's ridiculous, and it's so much fun. All right, that is everything we have for the news segment of our podcast. But hang with us, because when we come back on the other side, we're going to be going into our main topic in the Bosch Room.
Yay.
Yay,
Beer.
that was fun. Yeah, please.
All right, I'm going to run us an ad because
We'll be right
I can
back.
do that
60,
shit.
60 seconds. Just hang with us.
60-second
It's
ad.
helpful. Stay with us, please.
Yeah, because it really makes it where I can go get a drink. That is my new favorite. Like, I need to figure out a way to put that button.
But see, that's just a Twitch thing. So, like, the people on the other streaming platforms, they're actually just seeing me sit here awkward. So, like, everybody else is getting an ad.
Yeah, no one else gets an ad.
Hi, everybody. Hey, new people. This is fun.
If you're listening to us on Mixer.
Yeah, Mixer is fantastic, and we're so happy that people are showing up from Mixer. It's awesome. Let me see if I missed anything in the chat here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brooklyn doesn't see ads because he's a sub.
That's right.
I knew that about you. I knew you were a sub. Love it. What is this beer?
That is a Cano Bliss.
Cano Bliss Citrus IPA. That's exciting. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be fun. We're going to be talking about Superman, and we're going to try and not be horrible and mean. But
He can take it.
we can definitely take it. But this is going to be fascinating because this is a topic I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and there's an interesting article that came out recently about how DC really doesn't seem to know what they're doing with Superman. And I've been wanting to talk about it because I know that we can get angry, but I want this to try and be a productive
no stems,
discussion.
no seeds, because it's a Cano Bliss.
Okay, see, I was thinking actually, because I can only see the no pulp part.
Yeah.
I was like, if it said no stems, no seeds, dank AF.
Yeah.
Like, then it'd be kind of perfect.
I was going to say there's some of the dry apple cider in there if you wanted to. Ooh. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about Superman, and we're going to be talking about Superman as a concept because he's a character that is problematic. Because they want to make movies about him, they want to make TV shows about him, but we have an issue where look at his power, look at who he is, look at how he's one of the original superheroes, and he can be a bit of a problem. So hang with us, because we always do our news segment, which we just got wrapped up with, and now we're going to be going into our main topic, which is going to be Superman. So also thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you
For the follow.
I'm gonna go check on the dog one last time. I just heard her making
Okay.
noise.
Okay.
I've got a dog. She's got broken legs. She's not doing so well.
Yeah,
Very sick.
yeah, it's been a rough day for the rough week for the doggo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. We live in an era right now where we have so many successful superhero franchises. I mean, the fact that the Marvel Cinematic Universe kicked off with Iron Man,
Yeah.
a character that, by all accounts, at the time that the first Iron Man movie came out, was essentially a C or D list character.
Oh yeah, no one gave a shit about Iron Man.
Nobody cared about Iron Man, which is why Marvel was cool with making
Iron
the
Man's
movie.
a dude that shows up and is just either annoying or just magically has the answer. And
Yeah.
he goes away. Yeah. You don't need him.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done 338 weeks of this, and that's not counting special episodes that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah.
It's a thing. We do it
I
every
don't
week.
really have any other plans. So we did 333, which is halfway to evil. I have no other numbers aside from 369 because I'm just gonna call it one nice. Cause,
Yeah.
because it's 69 in the title.
All right, we have
Post that. What do we have? 380, 390. What other numbers are influential until we get to 420?
Not many.
I can guarantee. I have a great idea what we're doing for 420.
Well, yeah. We'll be airing that one from Colorado.
Yeah, we will. It's not a bad idea,
That's
actually.
a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, the show's topics will be, wait, what are we talking about? And let's go watch this instead because I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. We've been doing it for a long time. This has been a staple. All right. Let's talk about Superman.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. Try not to be mean.
So this is the interesting thing because we're reading a combined chat. So Pillsbury, you can't reply back to the person in Mixer because there's no unified chat for people to be in.
It's true.
So you don't need to make friends.
Just touch tips. Okay.
I don't know how to make that happen.
Cross-platform play. Let's go.
I don't know what happens when I press Jenny's face on anything other than Twitch. I don't think anything happens.
Oh.
We don't know.
I have no clue.
Yeah. We've never tested it.
I've never gone to look.
Okay.
No.
Let's go.
That's how much I care. Why? Why do you not work, you stupid button?
It just breaks every time.
Oh, so Rightful, since we stream on multiple platforms, one of our listeners is talking to us on a different platform, and you can't see what he's saying because he was responding to what you said in chat, and he called us special.
Yeah.
That's why we apparently have the numbers this high.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice. I like it.
Oh, and apparently I'm spoiling it because I didn't unclick the problems with Superman, so that's already up there.
I mean,
That's
it's,
all right.
it's the title of the episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get it.
Yeah. There we go.
Do you mean the Porg?
No, that was Aaron.
Oh, Aaron walked by.
She walked up the stairs.
Okay. That was Erin. She probably went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
She's being very kind and listening to headphones while we do this.
Yeah.
Because we're loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, let's do this.
Okay.
The Boss Room.
Hey, adventurers, welcome back to the show. This is our boss room. It's our main talking point for the podcast, sometimes related to the news, sometimes not. This week, I was inspired because this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. But there was a nice piece that was written in Forbes last week that really motivated me to make this the main topic this week. And the article in Variety